The headline screamed, bold and uncompromising, "Capitalism will collapse soon." It's a statement that sends shivers down some spines and sparks scoffing laughter from others. For centuries, this grand, intricate, economic machine, producing unparalleled wealth, driving astounding innovation, and lifting billions out of abject poverty. It has built empires of industry, sparked technological revolutions, and shaped the very fabric of our modern lives. Yet voices from every corner of the globe, from economists and environmentalists to social activists, are sounding the alarm, warning that the gears are grinding, the pressures are building, and the system as we know it is on an unsustainable path. So, is the collapse inevitable? A predetermined destiny for a system that has dominated global economics? Or does capitalism possess a remarkable resilience, an innate capacity to adapt and reinvent itself, just as it has done countless times throughout history? This isn't just an academic debate. It's a question that profoundly impacts our jobs, our planet, and our collective future. Let's delve into the heart of this urgent discussion, exploring the most compelling arguments from both sides of the coin, and glimpsing the potential futures that might emerge from the shadows of doubt. The cracks in the foundation. Arguments for a decline for those who foresee capitalism's demise. The evidence points to deep, systemic flaws that appear to be widening. One of the most glaring issues is the escalating problem of economic inequality. Data from the World Inequality Database paints a stark picture. In almost all nations, the richest 10% hold more than 50% of personal wealth. In the United States, that figure is even more pronounced, with the top 10% holding 71.2% of personal wealth. This concentration of wealth, critics argue, is an inherent outcome of capitalism's drive for profit and capital accumulation, creating a widening chasm between the ultra-rich and everyone else, threatening social cohesion and economic stability. Then there's the existential threat of environmental capitalism's relentless drive for endless growth, consumption, and raw material extraction is fundamentally at odds with the finite resources of our planet. Experts point to the accelerating pace of climate change, mass deforestation, severe biodiversity loss, the collapse of crucial fish stocks, and widespread water scarcity, all directly linked to industrial pollution and the pursuit of profit. The treadmill of production concept suggests a continuous increase in demand for natural resources, leading to ecological degradation. Even seemingly green capitalist initiatives, like large-scale lithium mining for electric vehicles, are highlighted as having their own detrimental environmental effects, merely shifting the burden rather than resolving the core issue of unsustainable consumption patterns. Financial instability is another recurring nightmare. History is littered with examples of asset and credit booms inevitably turning into busts. From the Dutch tulip mania in the 17th century to the dot-com bubble of the early 2000s and the devastating 2007-09 global financial crisis. Critics like Hyman Minsky argue that capitalism is inherently prone to instability and periodic crises due to speculative bubbles and excessive credit. These frequent, and often severe, financial upheavals, many believe, are not bugs in the system but features, causing immense human suffering and questioning the system's long-term viability. Furthermore, the accelerating pace of automation and artificial intelligence presents a terrifying future for labor. As AI systems become more sophisticated, they are increasingly capable of performing tasks once reserved for human workers, leading to widespread concerns about massive job displacement, particularly in middle-skill sectors. This automation-driven economic inequality could disproportionately benefit highly skilled AI professionals while leaving a vast segment of the workforce vulnerable to wage stagnation and precarious gig work. Critics warn this could further erode the middle class, exacerbate the wealth gap, and destabilize the social contract that underpins capitalist societies. The unyielding spirit, arguments for resilience despite the formidable challenges. Arguments for capitalism's resilience and adaptability are equally compelling. Its proponents often point to its unparalleled capacity for innovation and technological progress. Capitalism's inherent competitive nature, its relentless pursuit of profit and market share, provides a powerful incentive for businesses to constantly innovate, develop new technologies, and create groundbreaking products and services. From the Industrial Revolution to the digital age, capitalism has consistently spurred leaps in productivity and quality of life that were unimaginable under other systems. This creative destruction, a term coined by economist Joseph Schumpeter, constantly reshapes industries, but ultimately leads to progress and new opportunities. Historically, capitalism has also been credited with unprecedented poverty reduction. Over the past few centuries, the expansion of capitalist markets has lifted billions of people out of extreme poverty. Particularly in recent decades in regions like Asia, proponents argue that the efficiency of resource allocation through free markets, driven by supply and demand, leads to greater overall wealth creation. This wealth, even if unequally distributed, often trickles down, creating jobs, improving living standards, and fostering economic growth that enhances human well-being. Moreover, capitalism possesses remarkable self-correction mechanisms. Financial crises, while painful, often lead to regulatory reforms designed to prevent future collapses. Governments implement policies, central banks adjust monetary strategies, and industries adopt new standards in response to systemic failures. The system, though prone to excesses, has proven capable of adapting to new demands and challenges. The drive for efficiency, often criticized for its environmental impact, can also lead to technological advancements that solve environmental problems, such as renewable energy technologies or more efficient resource use, ultimately leading to a greener form of capitalism. The constant pursuit of higher efficiency and resource utilization can paradoxically align with environmental goals. Proponents also argue that viable alternatives to capitalism have largely failed to deliver comparable levels of prosperity, innovation, or individual freedoms. While models like pure socialism or communism have been tried, they often struggled with issues of efficiency, innovation, and basic human incentives. The lack of a truly proven, large-scale alternative that outperforms capitalism in wealth creation strengthens the argument for its enduring dominance, suggesting that adaptation and reform are more likely than outright collapse. The future horizon, evolution or collapse? So, where is this grand economic machine heading? The future of capitalism is unlikely to be a simple collapse, but rather a profound transformation. One widely discussed scenario is the rise of stakeholder capitalism. This model argues that businesses have a responsibility that extends beyond just maximizing profits for shareholders. Instead, they should consider the interests of all stakeholders: employees, customers, suppliers, communities, and the environment. This represents a more socially conscious form of capitalism, aiming to address inequality and sustainability from within the system. Another possibility is a further evolution toward social democracy, particularly prevalent in many European nations. This model combines a fundamentally capitalist economy with significant state economic regulation, robust social safety nets, and substantial state-led redistribution of income and wealth. It's a pragmatic attempt to harness capitalism's productive power while mitigating its harsher social consequences, seeking a balance between market efficiency and social equity. A darker, more dystopian vision is the concept of techno-feudalism. This theory suggests that we are not transitioning away from capitalism to something better, but instead slipping into a new kind of feudal system. In this scenario, powerful tech giants, the platform overlords like Google, Apple, Amazon, and Meta function like modern feudal lords. They own the digital land, control the vassals, and extract rent from virtually all economic activity that occurs within their digital realms. This could lead to an even greater concentration of wealth and power, with a vast majority of people becoming dependent on these digital feudal lords for their livelihoods and their access to the global economy, raising profound questions about freedom and economic agency. The fate of capitalism, therefore, is not a settled matter. It faces unprecedented challenges from escalating inequality, a looming climate crisis, and the disruptive force of AI. Its historical record of innovation and adaptation, its inherent drive for efficiency, and the lack of truly viable, scalable alternatives suggest a strong capacity for resilience. The ultimate path it takes, whether it's towards a more responsible, stakeholder-driven model, a social democratic hybrid, or a more dystopian techno-feudal future, will depend on the choices we make today. It's a grand, ongoing experiment, constantly evolving, perpetually shaping the lives of billions, and inviting us all to participate in its future.